This is the Hazardous Hooligan, and today I just reached 300 or around 300 subscribers. So I decided I'll do like a mini collection video of all of the demon props I own. Now, most of these are from Spirit, these big three, but then the demon trance is from Morbid Industries, and I have done a video on him, and I have Little Dude, and yeah, so these are all the demons I have. This is the newest in my collection, the Soul Snatcher. And he's very, very cool. I think he fits good with the spirit demons. Now, there are a few spirit demons I do not have. There's this one demon that's from Spirit that there's no information on. There's just one picture, and you'll see it on screen now. Which if anyone has a name for that thing, I would love to know, because he's a very interesting piece. And then there's the Hellhound, which he's about like this big. He's pretty cool. He was from 2005 to 2006 in the Spirit years. Then there's the Demon Guard, and he was from 2007 to 2008. He's a kneeling demon, and he has like a trident thing in his hands. Very cool. So I'll start with the spirit demons, and then I'll work my way down to these guys, because I do not have a year for Little Dude here. He's from Ghoulish Productions, as I said. There's not much. There is a new variant of him, but it's not the same as the original. So I'll talk about all those in detail afterwards. So I'll start with this guy in the middle, and he's in kind of sorry shape. His wings are completely fallen off, and I am repairing his arm. Now, this is the first thing I try to repair out of all of my props. As you can see, I'm using this foam method. It's foam. It's EVA foam, like putty. So you're meant to put it on EVA foam if you're doing like, for a Halloween costume, you could make like a helmet out of it. It's a pretty cool material. But it doesn't work very well for repairing latex, just because it doesn't hold detail very well. So as you can see on the Demon Trance, which is still being repaired, I'm using this. This is shop towels, and underneath there is drywall mounting tape, and it's all held together with barge cement, also known as, you can get Elmer's glue. It's like almost like rubber cement. That's another name for it. But anyways, back on this guy. He's the first one that came out from Spirit, and he was from 2002 to 2003. He has some pretty cool detail, and you can definitely tell he's the first, because he lacks a little like almost interestingness that the other two have. He's just kind of plain, but I still really like him. The fact that he has these weird spirally horns, and he's very traditional, and I like that about him. His wings were pretty cool. They were completely rotted, so I had to cut them off. And we will cut here, and then we'll come back, and we'll just have him on the table so you can see him very well. This is the 360, and now he looks kind of stupid with just these metal prongs for wings, and hopefully eventually I'll be able to get wings that look good on him. They actually did sell around the same time they sold him. They sold the same sculpt of the wings he had, but for a costume. I think they were just a little bit, like they're painted slightly differently, but they look almost identical. And if they would ever pop up on eBay, I would be able to fix them. If not, I'll have to find an alternative that I can paint or something. But other than that, he really doesn't have much like damage. All the latex on him is soft. The only reason why I had to put this horrible foam stuff on his arm is because his whole from here to down, like up here, was all ripped. I don't know how it happened. It could have been dry rot, because the latex is very thin on this specific model of him. But there's not much damage other than that. The paint is held up pretty well, but if you do look at this guy compared to some of the older pictures from when they were brand new, they're a lot more vibrant than this guy is. And I don't know if this is because it's a later model. Maybe this is a 2003 model and they changed the paint job up. but I'm really not sure why some of the newer ones I've seen of this guy are less like bright red. It's very interesting. But I'll do one last turn, and then we'll go to the next guy. This is the half-body latex demon with cross. Horrible names for all of these. The only one that has an actual kind of normal name is the Soul Snatcher, and his original name was wicked long, and they're really boring. A lot of the older spirit props had really basic names. For some reason, they didn't get creative at all, but it's just a weird thing about spirit back in the day. But this guy's pretty cool. He has posable tips of his wings, so you can kind of pose them out a little bit. They have a wire in them, so you can do that. His arms are not posable, but I think the only thing that is posable on him is his little ends of his wings. But he's a very unique design, especially for a gray, like kind of brown demon. And this specific one actually glows in blacklight, and I know I've done a video on him before. So if you would like to check that one out, you can. But I think I'll go a little bit more in depth because I actually know more about this guy now. Because, well, none of the half-body demons really have much information on them because there's not much you need to know about them. But this guy, he's obviously second in the set, and he's, like I said, from 2006 to 2007, and he has some great detail on him. The veins are more sculpted in to his hands. Even they're still pretty, like, you can tell that they're there, but they're a little bit more hidden, and he has much more like synced in detail than the other two demons, because he actually has kind of rhyme to his texturing. He has some like veiny like wrinkles on his wings, but not on his like backbone. Same with his head. The front of his head does have these wrinkles here, and it actually looks more realistic this way. And his hands have some wrinkles, and the places that you would assume to have wrinkles, and then the others don't. So this guy is Soul Snatcher, also known as Red Latex Winged Demon. Now, he was only sold in 2008, and personally, he is one of my favorite ones that I own out of this demon sign. I just think he's a classic-looking demon, but yet he has a very unique face, and I like his pose, too. It's great to put behind, like, if you're going to go behind, like, a bush or something in your haunted house. He's just a great pop-out prop. I might put him on a pneumatic this year for mine. I'm not sure yet. But out of the three I own, he has probably the most, like, unfixed damage. He has some dry rotting, but for the price I paid, which was $50 for this guy, he is in really good condition. And I can point out as I'm spinning him around the damages. He has 2 spots of dry rot here, which I will cut around and fix that. Now, everywhere else on his hand and this arm aren't too bad, but there is some little starts of dry rotting here, and I will fix that too. But his hand's probably the worst place of dry rotting on the actual body. At least this hand is. The other hand's pretty good. And some of his fingers are a little hard, but it won't affect him in any way. Now, going to the wings. Now, he does have dry rotting on the wings. All the edges of the wings have some dry rotting. This is one of the wings here, and you can see it's starting to tear there. And this is the one that has the rod. You can see the rod sticking out. But it's not to a point where it's as bad as the Big Red Demon, because I think I can catch this specific one in time so it doesn't completely rot away. Because these wings, if I think the Big Red Demon wings are going to be hard to find, these wings are even bigger, and they're more stylized to him specifically. And now the elephant in the room is this giant hole in the back of his head. I do not know why this is there. It is not caused by dry rot. It actually dry rotted afterwards. The only thing I can think of is there is the center armature for his whole body right there. So I think the owner that originally owned it wanted to hang him, and it would kind of make sense. But it's still kind of confusing why there's a hole in there. And I will have to cut around that and fix it because it is starting to dry rot. And I do think this guy is a very cool one. He's a lot of interesting detail. Like, it almost looks like he's very stylized to a kind of original looking demon, but you can definitely tell he's a demon. Now, this guy, as I said, came out in 2008. But there was a predecessor to him made by a different company called Morbid Industries. And the prop that looks almost identical to him with some features that are different is Goblin Dude. Now, the hands look almost exactly the same on the both. The Goblin Dude does not have wings, and the head is slightly different on Goblin Dude. And Goblin Dude is meant to be a goblin, so he's purple, and this guy's meant to be a demon. And the Goblin Dude came out in 2005. So there is quite an age gap between this guy and this one. So it's definitely influenced on Goblin Dude. But it's not plagiarizing because it looks very different from the two. It's really the hands and some of the body that looks remotely close. But I really like this guy. His detailing is pretty in-depth. The wings are probably the most detailed part. He does have some weird, like, almost looks like gauze is on him. Like, just like he almost has a chicken skin texture to him in some parts. And there's some weirdo, like, lines. He was definitely sculpted in a hurry. Because you can definitely see some sculpting lines still in him that they didn't fully smooth over. That's what I'm assuming some of this is, but I'm not 100% sure. But this is the last of the 3 spirit ones, and all 3 of these guys were made by Maybong Latex Company, and they actually don't make anything for spirit anymore. But back when they made a lot of their stuff, they looked amazing. So I have made a video on this guy before, as I said in the intro, and he was in quite a sorry state when I bought this guy. I think I got the whole lot for about $15, and it came with my Peeper Creeper Ghost and a Night View pirate skeleton that's completely rotted away. And but he was really the reason why I bought it, because at the time I didn't like the Peeper Creepers too much, but now I absolutely love them. But he was the main thing, because I was looking for him for a while, and he has some really interesting detail. Some of it's masked up because of the tape and the shop towels, but I will do some like updates on my most likely Instagram and Facebook, maybe even TikTok. I'm not sure yet, but I will do updates on him when I get him done, because all I need to do is find the matching paint color and mix it with latex and paint all the rest of him. And I mean, he is not rotting too horribly. The only places we're rotting were the pieces that were completely falling apart, and that's pretty much fixed. I did try to fix him with the horrible foam method, but I think this method is much better when you have holes that need to be patched, like really big holes, because like I said, with the foam, it doesn't hold detail, and you can kind of say the same thing about the shop towels, but this can actually be, because it's made out of fiber of tree, like tree fiber, you can, when it's wet, so you can absolutely douse it in the glue, and it will become very watery. If you just keep making it, it will actually blend very well in, and you can see that you see where it ends and where it begins. But when you put latex over that, it will look very, very smooth in almost all the places. And he's a really cool guy. He was sculpted by Jordu Shell, who I met at Trans World. And he was There's not too much information on this guy, surprisingly, because he was a very popular piece. I think I have one of the only videos actually going in depth about him. There are quite a few videos reviewing him, but none. I think there's only like two or three that actually go or specifically focus on him. And go definitely check out my original video on him. But you know, it's always better to kind of include some of the older videos in this nice new set. So now Little Dude can be considered a demon. He's more of like a monstrosity in my opinion. But you know, I still consider him a little bit of a demon because he's more of an imp. But I mean, those fall into the same category as demons, like underworld. And they actually did make a demon variant of him more recently, and his name is, I think, is Little Rock or something like that. And it's really cool. I might actually be getting that variant eventually, and it's like a true demon. You can see all the demon details on that one. But this is the original Little Dude. They actually recently made a newer one that looks, in my opinion, horrible. They also aren't foam filled. These ones are, the original ones are, but the new ones are just, I think they're made with, I'm assuming they're made with vinyl because they don't feel like latex unless they're really thick black latex. And I've seen them in person a few times, and I just think the original versions of them look so much better. And the detailing wise, they're not mass produced or anything. I think there's only 3 of these actually documented. I have one. There's one in another video, and then my good friend Haunt Channel has one of these guys. Don't know if he made a video on it or not, but yeah, there's very little information on this specific model, when it came out and stuff like that. But we do know it's Ghoulish Productions because it has the logo there, and then there's also a trademark down there. And I think he's really cool. Unfortunately, this guy is rotting pretty badly. I need to coat him in Armor All because this specific model was from a store window. So he's a store display, and he was just all the moisture was getting sucked out of him in that window. And as you can see, the only parts that aren't dry rotted are the tops of the head that weren't facing the window. But it's very unfortunate because I really like this guy. And hopefully I can get either another one or try to fix this guy up. So that concludes all of my demons. And it may not look like a lot, but demons aren't really touched upon in the Halloween community. Sure, in the professional community, there's quite a few. But in the actual retail space, there's not too many. I know that Party City is going to do like a devil goat for this year. But there's not too many for spirit. I don't think there's been a demon. Oh, there was a demon last year, but a full demon that looks like a demon, not cartoony or anything like that. There's not too many of them, and I really like them, as you can tell. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe, because I do a lot of videos like this on these older props and animatronics, and I really enjoy doing it. And if you would like to comment on any of these guys, just leave it in the comments below. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.